friends. How's everybody doing today? My apologies for not getting content out this week as much as I would like to. It isn't that I haven't been filming. It's just that once I get it into the editing software, I'm just like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough for you guys and gals. So I'm not sure whether I'm thinking too much or things have evolved. Not sure. But I really want to provide something of value, and sometimes you just the best editing tool is to just hang on to it. Anyway, I wanted to just get back to axe handles. A lot of stuff is happening right now. Very, very positive. I'm very, very excited. I'm just totally stoked. Hold on. Hill, you're done. I've got your address, and I've got a few more goodies I'm sending. So look for. I'll get it out this week at some point. Jay Daniels, I haven't forgotten, believe it or not. Tree fella, your stuff's on the way. Again, the Casterville shipping department is woefully behind. I wish I had about 3 of me. But we're slowly starting to transition the business out of the field and full-time in the shop, and namely axe handles. Very excited about the news that's going to be coming out this week about axe handles. Really stoked. I thought I was going to get the wood to the kiln on Saturday, but it rained all day, so that's going to be delayed till next Saturday. But the hickory tree is going to the kiln to get dried, and so that's exciting. But it's also got me thinking. There I go, thinking again. I have got to start thinking in terms of trees and not boards. So another conundrum, developing the network of wood. Handles is all about wood and your ability to get it. So there we are again. But anyway, I wanted to come back to hatchet handles is really what I wanted to talk about today. Especially when I was breaking handles, those curvy girls. What really kind of saved me and always helped me, no matter I would make one and haft it and break it, and this went on for a couple of months. Incidentally, the track record is much better now. But what always kind of saved me and brought me back to my center was hatchet handles. A hatchet handle is a great way to scale things down, and you don't have as much to worry about, and keep straight and flat and whatnot and consistent. It also helps you with your carving, and you can just kind of collect yourself, and you can slow down, and you can take the hand tools and kind of recalibrate yourself, because really the concepts as they translate up the machinery food chain, they're the same. And you kind of get used to a machine taking off material. It's more of a direct kind of removal, whereas when you've got a file or a rasp or a spoke shave, you're really taking it a little bit at a time, so you can get ahead of yourself and you can get impatient and you can take too much, and then you've got this lopsided thing that you're frustrated with. So really, that is the main that's mainly what I wanted to cover today, is getting back to the hand tools and just the enjoyment that you can get out of it. Currently, this is a special axe that's going to somebody I'm going to make another one. It's actually going to be a set that's going to somebody as a surprise, and there'll be more on that. This is just a run-of-the-mill plum boy's axe, basically. It's essentially the Boy Scout axe, but we're going to haft it up, and we're going to do a very nice, ergonomic, strong, but yet nice, I guess, for lack of a better term, just nice. So, but anyway, what I did with this guy is I did rough it out at the shop and left it. I don't have anything roughed here, but I left it really fat and super rough form, and I've just been nipping away at it with the rasps and the horseshoe rasp and file, and it gave me a chance to get my spoke shaves tuned up. This is a Lee Valley, or actually a Wood River, not Lee Valley spoke shave, and it's very nice. What I really did was tune up this bugger and sharpen the snot out of it and flatten this sole, this brass sole, and polish that up. And man, this thing is really, really doing well now. Got some nice curl. Another tool that I wanted to talk about is just this silly little Stanley hand plane. Just a little, this sole is nothing but some stamped, I guess, I know it's rusting a little bit, so it's not stainless, but the iron, I just sharpened the snot out of this little iron, and it goes to town. It gets some nice curl, and you just adjust your iron. You just take a little small hammer, and it doesn't take much once you get your pressure set right on your frog screw. Same with the Lee Nielsen. Once you get your blade adjustment, there's a sole right here. The thing I like about this is it's cast iron. It's very, very heavy and very stable, and the steel blade is very, very good. But again, your adjustments are just hitting this little fence right here, and you can adjust your throat opening and so on and so forth. So it's really neat. The blade goes back and forth, and your throat goes up and down, so you can really control the opening on this guy. Like it a lot. So, and notice the absence of what I'm talking about. I think I've covered draw knife enough. There's so many draw knife videos on YouTube, and you just kind of, it's still something that you just have to develop your own style and your own technique, and there's just a lot of messing up. You're going to shank off a big hunk of hickory as it applies to axe handles. I did go over putting marks in it and taking it out for practicing taking off smaller chunks, taking out saw marks, taking out file marks and rasp marks. That's definitely good practice. And also with your spoke shaves and your little bitty planes. Another thing I've really been getting into, and I just ordered a bunch more, are the files and rasps. There's just something, I've used files and rasps since I was in shop class in 7th grade, and I really feel comfortable with them. And really, in my opinion, that's what you have to go with. You have to go with the tool that you're best with, and you get the best results. Not necessarily the quickest, because when I do stuff by hand, I'm just doing it to relax and doing it. My mind is in an artful place, in a creative place. When I'm at the shop banging out handles, there is a creative element to it, but with the machinery, there's so much that you have to pay attention to, namely not hurting yourself, that it's just a different world. Now, with what's coming down the line, everything, the patterns are going to have to get, and I think if I say patterns, I think you know what I'm talking about, what's going to come out of my mouth on Tuesday. Tuesday is kind of the date, I think, that all this is going to take place. But coming back to what I'm talking about here, I'm really excited to share with you this little bitty hand plane. And these are not necessarily the expensive. I forget what number it is, but it was given to me by my best friend's mom. It was his grandpa's. It's a little Stanley thing that has a little, I guess, skunk tail on it or something like that. It's cast iron and it's really old, and I love that plane. But those are not cheap. Those intact on eBay, etc., are not cheap. If you can find one for a good price, grab one, and grab one if you so think you want one, because they're just a great plane for doing all sorts of stuff, rounding over edges and whatnot. So I highly recommend that plane. I'll have to get a bead on what number that is. But this little hand plane, I love it. Look at these curls. I mean, I'm taking tiny bits, but the thing that I like about it the most is it's way more controlled, and it's not taking a teeny bit. It's taking a larger bit, but it also has a flat sole to where you're not. I mean, the thing that I come back to with the draw knife and the spoke shaves and stuff, as much as I love them, see there, is that no matter how good you are with them, you're not taking off a metered amount of material. There is still a bit of guesswork with it. And that's why I love this, but I also like I like the marks because these go down a certain amount. And whether you're using a spoke shave, a draw knife, or whatever, once you take those marks out, you're done. You're not relying on feel, which is okay, is terrific. There's nothing wrong with that. But especially if you're just getting into this and you're struggling with the various tools, incidentally sharpening, and more sharpening. I mean, look, I've used planes so much, I don't know if somebody had this where they would be, but I've used them so much, I know exactly where I am with this. And there's not that, since this is so sharp, I don't have that little, I guess, voice in the back of my head going, am I going to shank this off? Am I going to ruin this? But anywho, I love this guy. If you can find one of these guys, it's well worth it. Sharpen it up, get your adjustments right, and I think ouch, I just cut myself. I think what will happen if you're frustrated with your hafting at the moment, I think this combination of rasps and files and this little plane, I think that will sort of bring things around while you're learning the spoke shave. And because part of the spoke shave and the draw knife is just getting it dialed in. You can be the best carver in the world, and if you don't have a sharp instrument, it's just not going to happen. Another thing you can do, and I can't remember if I've mentioned this or not, I don't have one right here, but a Sharpie works well too. Now, usually it's a wider Sharpie, you can use the side of a regular Sharpie, but a Sharpie will bleed into the wood, and that's also a way that you can gauge how much material you're taking off. And I just find the more and more I kick around with these guys and doing it by hand and with sanders, even the mechanical, I just like to keep track of how much I'm taking off, because you're constantly looking at your handle. You know, you don't want to work on one side for too long. You want to get one side and keep that visual in your mind, and then try to duplicate it on this other side. One other thing I wanted to interject, when you're forming an eye, or really forming anything, and you can do this for practice, but if I'm forming an eye, sometimes I have the shape in my head. But you can also take the eye. There's a couple of different things you can do. You can take the eye. Of course, you're going to want your center line. You've got to have your center line. If you don't have a center line to reference, then I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I'm saying that your axe hefting is probably up in the hundreds of hundreds. However, for those of us that are not up into the 1,000 range of axe hefting or handle making, oh, there's a helicopter going over. Sounds like a Black Hawk. Anyway, what you can do is, there's a couple of different things you can do. What I'll do is, if there's some anomaly to the head or something, I'll just put it right there, and as I'm shaping, with whatever it is, I'll just keep looking at it. I love this horseshoe file. Now, some eyes have a straightaway here, some have a little bit of a curve to them, so it really, you just have to do it. Now, if you're not so hot at doing it by eye, one little trick that you can do is just take a normal piece of paper, and obviously you're going to put it over the bottom eye. And what you can do is just crease that over the eye. Be careful to hold it in place, but just run your finger over the edge of the eye. And I don't know if you can see it, but what you have is a perfect duplicate of the eye. Then you just cut it out with scissors. Before you do that, you might want to eyeball it, but then you can mark your center. Mark your centers. Take a straight edge. Draw your straight edge line, and then you can orient that over your center line, and if you know, obviously your eye rough is going to be bigger than your finish eye rough, so then you just carefully trace around that, and that can give you a good reference. Sometimes it's important to have a visual, but that can give you a good place to start for shaping your eye. And you just kind of carry it down. You don't want to commit to hogging too much material off to your destination. You want to start on the first, probably less than a quarter, and get it on, then get it straight this way and get it going down straight. You just want it coming down parallel to the axis of the handle. So anyway, I just thought I would interject that. And another thing I've started doing is, let's see, this one's still in pretty rough form. My center line is still on it. It's pretty darn good, but it still needs adjustment and a little bit of thinning. But another thing you can do is go ahead and haft this now. And then as you, and get it fit to where it's ready to go. And then you can make your adjustments on your handle in relationship to the head being on the end. That's something that I've started doing as well. And I've gotten really, really great results with that. So, I mean, I hope everybody's doing really well. Phenom, how's it going? Tasman, driving the content and love bus down the road, keeping us all with great stuff to watch, and just his general energy for putting a smile on people's face. I think it's great. Tree Fella, awesome dude. The Green Machine, I love the Green Machine. Go check out Tree Fella and his Green Machine. It's awesome. And Ground Gal. Willis Franks, thanks for always stopping by. Don Lewis, you're awesome. Billy from Philly. Mac 131, and I know there's a bunch of people that I'm leaving out. I'm just trying to get better at really thanking everybody, because hey, thank you guys. It makes a huge difference. 116 subscribers. I'm a happy guy. If you're new and you're thinking about subscribing, give it a shot. Lots of good stuff coming. We've got wood acquisition coming up. We've got new machinery coming to the shop. Really excited. The handle endeavor journey is taking some, let's say, more than baby steps. We're really super excited. Stuff going out to people. The surprise Hatchet set is going out. It's got to get finished first. But yeah, thank you to this community. This community is awesome. Thank you, Buck and Billy Ray. Thank you for just the inspiration to just put my foot down 2 years ago and go, yeah, I'm tired of worrying about other people's stuff. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to, from here on, I'm going to worry about what I want to worry about, my own ship in the sea, and do stuff that you can look back on and be proud of. Not that I wasn't doing that already, but I just, handles. I love axe handles. I love the history behind them. I love the stories behind them. I love looking at old logging pictures. 307. What's up? I want to see some saws. I want to see more saws. 906, Mike. The syrup. Awesome. I know because I helped my best friends. I think I told you this, but I know that honey is kind of the same thing. My best friend in high school, his dad was a beekeeper, so we used to do the honey thing once a year, all through high school. It was awesome. But yeah, thank you everybody. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Keep it rolling. And with, by no means being last, does that mean it's not as important? Nick Pixel, thank you for everything you've done and do, and for all of the ships that you keep on the ocean. I don't know where we'd all be without you, man. Hope you and Katie are well. Hope your nephew's well. Okay, cool. No problem. Hi, Toots. But anyway, I'm going to get on down the road here and get a little farther down the line on this handle. I hope that was helpful. There'll be more to come. But these were thoughts that have been like percolating for a few days. And I am just grateful for y'all. And Glad you're doing better, bellhopper. Talk to you soon.